How's it going, guys? So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this HUD animation right here. I'm going to show you how to make it blink in. We're going to have some compositing fun and some UV fun to make it all work around with the blocks and stuff like that. If you want this project file you're seeing right here to play with, it is available in the description for $1. Everybody on Patreon, you'll be getting that for free. If you don't know about the Patreon, you get all the project files for the tutorials, as well as exclusive tutorials. I show my client work. I just dropped a pack of 50 looping animations, all the project files for those animations, and I have the iridescent procedural material pack, the glitch pack, and I just released the procedural wood material pack. So if you want to get all that stuff, it's available in the description. Now let's get into how to make this HUD animation. All right, we're going to open up with a blank document and make sure that you are in the Eevee render engine. Hit this little camera icon and click Eevee. I'm going to hit Shift A and I'm going to bring in some text right here. Now we're going to align it really quick. So hit this little A down here and go here on the alignment, center, and center. I'm going to hit Tab and I'm going to type in HUD. You can do whatever you want, your name, your logo, your company, whatever. And now let's take this and I'm going to make this text a little bit thicker. So go over here to geometry and right here in offset, I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. Now I'm going to extrude this up this direction. Now I'm going to hit Shift D and duplicate this guy and bring my offset a little bit thicker. And we'll make the extrude a little bit thicker. The reason I did that is if you saw in the preview, there is an orange one blinking around. That's a second HUD text. Now I'm going to hit right click, convert to mesh, click the other one, and convert them both to mesh. Now, if you go over here to wireframe view, you can see the topology is not very good, and I need square faces to make this HUD look. What I'm going to do is add in a really cool modifier called the Remesh Modifier. So we're going to hit this little icon here, add, and we're going to get Remesh. Click remove disconnected, and I'm going to click it until I like the amount of faces. So I like that. And we're going to do the same thing here with remesh and click that. And I like that for both of them. So I'm going to apply both modifiers. So now we have this going on. Now we need to do some weird things to this bigger one to make it kind of glitch in and glitch out. Some faces disappear and all that fun stuff. Before we add in the wireframe modifier, just to show, we're gonna add a cool wireframe modifier to give it that that look, but we need to make some of these faces disappear, and that's going to be working with UV and a procedural material. So let's go ahead and tackle that. So what you're going to want to do is hit Tab and hit A to make sure all this stuff is selected. I'm gonna hit the tilde key. For me, it's right above the tab, and I'm gonna hit top view so it's straight on. That's very, very important. Now, what we're going to do is hit F3 and type in edge split. Right here, edge split. And then I'm going to hit A, make sure it's all selected. I'm going to hit U for unwrapping, and we're going to click project from view. And the reason why we hit the tilde key to go very front is it's projecting this flat view. And it's a really nice quick hack to unwrap something. Now let's head over to UV editing to tackle what we're doing here. When it comes to the procedural shading we're going to add to this, if we just add the noise texture, you're going to see it smoothly mapped to that. We don't want that. We want these boxes to look like they're little bitty pixels to the material. If you're having trouble understanding that, you'll see it work in action in a minute when we actually get to the nodes. But to make that work, right up here, click individual origins, and then you can scale, which is why we did an edge split. You can scale these down individually. So I'm going to hit S and then 0, and that makes them about the size of a pixel. That translates that to the node. Now let's head over to shading to show you how that works. So now we have this. I'm going to switch over to the Eevee preview. And actually the first thing I want to do is give the wireframe modifier right here and bring the thickness really low. Something around there. You can play with that as you like. Go back to render view. Now click on the wireframe. I'm going to click this op thing right here so I don't see that yellow. I'm going to click New. I'm going to delete the default principled. I'm going to hit Shift A and type in Mix. And we're going to get a Mix shader. And we're going to plug this Mix shader into the surface. Now let's go ahead, Shift A and type in Emission right here. And we're going to duplicate this, hit Shift D, and bring the strength to 0. Now we're going to use these two and plug the shader right here, these two into the shader. Now we need to tell what parts of the little squares to show the black one, the one with the strength of nothing, and this white one with strength of 1. So we're going to get a color ramp right here, and right here on color, bring it onto the factor, get a noise texture. That's where it's going to show. Now we're going to get a noise texture, plug the noise texture into the factor. If you have the node wrangler enabled, comes with the blender by default. Hit Control T, gives you a mapping and a texture coordinate. Now just to show you what's going on, if I switch the color ramp here to constant, and I bring this in like this, you can see it working kind of like this. But you can see it's smoothly mapping. It's not going kind of boxy. So that's why we unwrapped it here. Now we're going to use the UV to show that. Now you can see it's working with those boxy things, and that's because it thinks they're about the size of a pixel. So what I'm going to do is start coloring this with that orange, make the strength pretty high, maybe bring it down a little bit more, and then we can make the scale something like this. Now let's take 3D, bring it to 4D. We're going to animate that really quickly so it does this kind of action, which looks really, really cool. Actually, I don't like how big it is, so maybe something like this looks really cool. Now I think this animation will have it maybe around 5 seconds. So bring up a new window and we're going to give it the timeline. And just bring that up. We're going to do a quick little animation. So let's give this end right here, 120, 120 frames. And then what I'm going to do is bring my strength on the orange down to nothing. I'll show you how to strobe it in just a second. But right click, insert keyframe. Okay, right about there is when I want it to blink in. So bring it to the strength you want it to be at once it's fully there. Right click, insert keyframe. Now let's also get in that animation. So on the W, right click, insert keyframe, and then go to the very end. And then if you hold down shift, you get a slower animation here. So we'll say something like that. Right click, insert keyframe. So now you can see it doing its thing. It looks really cool and kind of organic, but I like it. Now let's go ahead and click this one right down here, add the same wireframe modifier, and then let's go over here to the preview so we can see what's happening and bring this really low. And then let's go back to rendered view, give it a new material just to show you which one's selected. Bring this back here. And then I'm going to delete this, get an emission, surface, nice and blue, bring the strength up right around there, and then bring the wireframe a little bit thinner. Now let's get the world color, bring it all the way down to 0. Okay, so now you can see it's working like this. It's the color's really washed out, but we'll fix that in a minute once we sort of refine the look. Now let's animate it actually blinking in. So let's remove this blue and just work on the orange right now. Let's blink that in. Now, here's how you blink stuff in. Click on the animation tab, right here, go to the graph editor, and I'm going to go to the render view here. I'm going to hit play just to make sure it's all working correctly. Okay, so if you click on the object, you may not see some stuff. If you go back to shading, you can select this node right here, and then you go back to animation, and then it'll show that some stuff is actually going on. So right here in the modifiers in the graph editor, click on modifiers, add and noise. So you'll see it's adding some crazy noise. So now this is the animation we're seeing. So if you bring up the strength a whole lot, you can see it's kind of glitching that animation we did. So if you see, it goes in like that. So what I want first is I'm going to actually bring the animation a little bit farther, maybe to frames 40. So now it does that. You can see now the HUD glitches in. Now just to make sure that it's still not glitching in for the entirety of the animation, what we're going to do is we're going to restrict frame range, start at 0, and right here, end it at frames 40. So now you can play with it a little bit more on the strength. So if we go back to the beginning, now it strobes in, as you can see. That's what we want. Now we're going to do the same exact thing to this text, and we'll be done. So let's do that. I'm going to take the text here. As you can see, it's nice and blue. And make sure it's selected, which is the first text, I believe. Yep. And then right here, go to strength of 0, right-click, insert keyframe, go to frame 40, and bring it up to however bright you want it to be, something like this. And right-click, insert keyframe. Now let's go to animation. We can see that. Add the modifier, which is noise. Restrict the frame range from right here. Restrict frame range, end at frame 40. And then we'll bring up the strength. And then now we can see our animation working. It blinks in very nicely. All right, now we'll hit tilde key, go to the top here, and then we'll get a camera, Control-Alt-0, snap the camera to view. I'm going to bring it up like this. Here in the camera settings, I'm going to get a focal length of 100. like that. Maybe bring it out. Now for me, this is really, really washed out. I would go back and change the brightness. It's a bit too much for me. If you can see in my final animation, there's a good bit more contrast in there. So I would go back and don't make it quite as bright. My tip would be make the orange brighter than the blue so it kind of stands out, because right now in my animation, right now they're really at war with each other. I can kind of fix that a little bit here in the bloom, bring the intensity down a little bit, and I'll go to the end. I can also go to color management here and bring the gamma all the way down like this, and make sure you're at very high contrast. Then you'll get kind of a cool blink in look animation. Now, last thing we're going to do here is hit render image. Now we have that. Let's hop on over to compositing, click use nodes. I'm gonna hit Shift A, search for a viewer node right here, plug the image into the image here. Now we can see what's going on in the background. Shift A and add in glare. Pop in the glare node right here. Bam, you get all this craziness. So we'll bring the right here, give it only two streaks. We'll bring the mix pretty far down so it's not crazy and conflicting with our animation. We get these cool streaks. We bring our color module up a little bit to make them fade out, and bring the fade up a little bit too, so we get this really cool look. Now the last thing I'm going to add is a lens distortion. Lens distortion right here, and bring the dispersion up. So now we get, I'm going to get maybe 0.05, bring down some of the dispersion, and then now we have this really, really cool HUD look. And then to make sure that when you render it, it actually renders out this compositing, bring the image to the image on the composite. And then if you go here to rendering, you can see all that fun stuff happening. So that's all you have to do for this animation. Just go back, make sure it's glitching in the way you want, and then I'll just show you how to export it. Click this little printer icon and select where you want to save it. Go to PNG to FFmpeg video encoding to MP4, and then medium quality to perceptually lossless. Render animation, and you're done. So once you're done tweaking your settings, your color, and having a lot of fun with making it your own, you can go ahead and hopefully you'll have something really cool that you're proud of. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned something.